one of the most disturbing things to me is that in the last 20 to 25 years, we've actually seen a doubling of overweight and obese children and adolescents.
And this weight gain has been linked to countless health problems later in life, such as hypertension, coronary heart disease, stroke, gallbladder disease, osteoarthritis, sleep apnea, respiratory problems, endometrial, breast, prostate, and colon cancers, dyslipidemia, steatohepatitis, insulin resistance, asthma, hyperuricemia, reproductive hormone abnormalities, polycystic ovarian syndrome, impaired fertility, and adult-onset diabetes. In fact, if current trends continue, 1 out of every 3 children born in the year 2000 will develop diabetes in their lifetime.
At least 17 million Americans now have type 2 diabetes, and about 1 out of every 20 people.
If the diabetes starts before the age of 15, you lose somewhere between 17 and 27 years of lifespan.
According to the new research, the direct medical costs associated with diabetes have doubled. The direct medical costs have doubled in the past 5 years, from $44 billion in 1997 to $92 billion in 2002.
And somewhere in the neighborhood of about 20% of the obese children have elevated abnormal liver function tests, and we have now started a study where we're biopsying these children to see what their livers actually look like under the microscope, and half of them have evidence of scarring of the liver, fibrosis of the liver, the early stages of cirrhosis. So when these children end up being adults, they're going to end up, if they don't change their eating and exercise habits, are going to end up with liver failure and well, either transplant or death.
Did you want lettuce and mayonnaise on all of them?
I think it's very, very hard for overweight teenagers because you're always going to see the thin, pretty, popular girls, and you can't help but look at them and think, I wish I was her, or I wish I could have that. And I mean, it's depressing. It makes you feel like crap. I mean, that's just how it is. And it's of course it's hard being a teenager because you see all the girls in the Cosmo Girl or Teen People, and they're all beautiful, and you think, aren't I supposed to look like that? And it's just not. It's not realistic. It's not a realistic way to live.
So without further ado, let's welcome Jared Fogle.
My big thing was never smoking, it was never drinking, obviously it wasn't doing drugs. My big vice was food. And before I knew it, I wound up weighing 425 pounds. I brought in a present for you. My old pants that are now made famous in all the Subway commercials. There you go. You're welcome.
This is my daughter, Victoria. She's an 8th grade honors student, and you're a real inspiration to the kids. I really appreciate that.
That's one of the greatest. I mean, you know, as I said, when I started putting my weight on, as you guys know, at 3rd or 4th grade, so.
And she was real tiny when she was littler.
Sure.
And it's been in our family. In fact, I had a great-grandfather that died and was buried in a piano box years and years ago.
Yeah.
So it's in a history.
Absolutely.
So, and she's been trying to maintain her weight.
And it's tough. It's always a challenge. I know, and it's, as a kid, it's awfully hard these days. But
and kids are not always kind.
No, not at all. And I know that firsthand. And it's, the problem is the world's not going to change. You have to change.
I guess it's kind of cool to know somebody or be able to listen to somebody talk about actually being where I am right now. And it's kind of hard because I can't afford to go there every single day and buy a sandwich 2 times a day. And that's what he's talking about, that's the only solution. That's what he said that worked the best, but I can't do that. And I've tried other ways, and it's kind of hurt my body from doing other ways that I've tried to do. And it's kind of hard to look at someone who said, hey, I've done it, so you can do it, but it's not that easy.
I've been sick as a kid. I grew up eating a lot of ice cream, more than you could believe. We had an ice cream cone-shaped swimming pool in our backyard. We had a commercial freezer with not only all 31 flavors in it, but all experimental flavors that were under development. And I made myself the official taster. I had to approve everything in my mind. And I mean, I loved it. What kid wouldn't? I mean, I literally had unlimited ice cream. I ate ice cream for breakfast. But I was sick a lot. And I wasn't very athletic. I didn't exercise. You know, I was really ill. And I didn't feel good. So I would kind of appease that by eating more ice cream. You can see how the vicious cycle would take place. One of the triggering factors for me was my uncle, Bert Baskin, my dad's partner and brother-in-law, co-founder of the company, died of a heart attack. I think he was 51. Now, my uncle weighed about 240 pounds. Heavy-set fellow. And when he died, as a young man, I asked my dad, you think there could be a connection between his fatal heart attack and the amount of ice cream he would eat? And my father said no. His ticker just got tired and stopped working. By this time, he had manufactured and sold more ice cream than any human being that had ever lived on this planet. He didn't want to think that the product he was selling was hurting anybody, that it had contributed to the death of his brother-in-law and partner, and in many ways best friend. I mean, no way. Ben Cohen, the van of Ben and Jerry's, a couple years ago had a quintuple bypass procedure at the age of 49. My uncle Bert Baskin of Baskin-Robbins dies at the age of 51 of a heart attack. My father, Irv Robbins, the other founder of the company, ended up with very serious diabetes. You can't deny these links. You just can't.